Nick, Wild Web, Heavyweight, 11-0, 9 knockouts. Subscribe to Sporting Icon for your latest boxing news. Come!
So Anthony Joshua has been asked again about the possibility of him fighting in Las Vegas or in America in general. And Anthony Joshua, while he has said in the past that he is willing to go, and of course for the rematch against Vladimir Klitschko, he was all but set to fight in Vegas for the rematch. But anyway, Anthony Joshua was asked if he could go his entire career without fighting in America. And this is what Anthony Joshua had to say on this occasion. Yes, because it's all about where the market is, and it's so strong here. It's brilliant here. So why would I leave it? I wouldn't mind going to the States if people were to say, hey, look, Josh, this will cement your legacy. This is a great opportunity to go to America. So I'll definitely think about it. But when no one has said it, and it would be like, all right, let's just go to Vegas because everyone else has done it. I don't want to do it just for that reason. What we did with Vladimir Klitschko at Wembley Stadium was phenomenal. I still train at Finchley ABC, so a lot of my support is home-based. I always say it gives people an opportunity from a local area to travel half hour to Wembley for one of the biggest fights in boxing history. That's why I don't want to travel to America. Not just for the sake of it, because it limits a lot of people from being able to come to watch me. I would love to fight Deontay Wilder and to fight him at Wembley Stadium. Wembley would be sick for that in the summer. Wilder is an American fighter and I'm not. So me going there shouldn't really add massive numbers on pay-per-view. He should already be showing a spreadsheet of what they are achieving, and that should already tempt me to go there and think, if I come, I'm only going to be adding 20%. I shouldn't be adding 80% and him filling the rest. So that's Anthony Joshua's statement. Now, okay, so let's quickly backtrack on a couple of things before we get into this bit here. Now, he was going to go to Las Vegas to fight Vladimir Klitschko in the rematch. We all know that, it's well documented. That was all signed and pretty much delivered until Vladimir Klitschko retired. Okay, and only a week or two ago, he said that, yes, he's willing to go to America to fight Deontay Wilder. Eddie Hearn also said that this is a very, very realistic proposal, that he could actually fight Deontay Wilder in Las Vegas. Now, what Anthony Joshua is saying here is absolutely correct. Now, if he goes to travel to somebody else's backyard, he should just be adding like 20% or something. Because the person he's fighting is already a pay-per-view star, is already super popular. But instead, he's going to go to somebody else's home country and he's going to be the one adding 80% to the pay-per-view revenue. And the pay-per-view revenue will be harmed because in the UK, this fight will be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for us. Maybe even 6 because it's in Vegas, right? So a lot of people who would be shelling out their £22 or whatever it's going to be for the Sky pay-per-view, a lot of people are not really going to be wanting to wait up until silly o'clock in the morning. Whereas a lot of people will be like, yeah, you know what, stuff that, I'm not going to pay for that. I'll just get like a good night's sleep, wake up in the morning, and then maybe find it somewhere on YouTube. That's pretty much what people will try and do. So the pay-per-view will be harmed. Now you could argue, okay, so here in the UK, it's what, 22 quid. Whereas in America, you're talking, what, $50, $60. So it's double. So really, you only need half the amount for the pay-per-view in America. The trouble is, Deontay Wilder is not pay-per-view in America. So how many people would buy the pay-per-view for America? That's a big question. We don't know. I mean, if for Wilder, for his last fight, he had an 18,000 seater in New York, but yet only managed to put 11,000 in there, with 7,000 of those giving away tickets. So if he can't do that in New York, what's Deontay Wilder bringing to the table? Where would be the financial sense for Anthony Joshua to go there? Now, yes, okay, how much Anthony Joshua gets paid or Deontay Wilder gets paid is none of my beeswax. It's not my issue. It's not your issue. We just want the fight, and that's fine. No matter where it is, me and I imagine most of you will watch it, even if it is 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But in an ideal world, us in the UK, we would watch it at 10, 11 o'clock at night, which is when it usually is. Those in America can watch it mid-evening, 5, 6 o'clock. So that isn't too bad, is it? I mean, if it was roles reversed, I'd be quite happy to watch a boxing event in afternoon time. So, yeah, I think Anthony Joshua is absolutely correct. Why leave the market to go somewhere where there is no market for his opposition, his opponent? Now, had it been for Vladimir Klitschko, okay, well, here's an example. Floyd Mayweather. People would travel to America. People would travel to Vegas. Why? Because Floyd Mayweather is the one generating the pay-per-view. In this situation, Deontay Wilder's not creating the pay-per-view. So where would be the sense of it? And again, he says, why would people go there? Or why would he go there? Just because it's a cool thing to do. Because people of the past, like Lennox Lewis and that, have done it. The big fights with Mike Tyson have been over there. Holyfield's been over there. Riddick Bowe's been over there in Vegas and all this kind of thing. Now, that's history and that's all great. But facts are, it's history. It's done with. It's in the past. This is the now. UK boxing is, in truth, where it's at. So for me, why would Anthony Joshua need to leave the UK and go risk it? Now, okay, he's already earned a lot of money in his boxing career so far to really not have to worry about it. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, it's one of those situations where money is important. It doesn't matter how much money you have, there's always room for a bit more. That's just how it is. So, yeah, I think that, I mean, the whole pay-per-view thing is exactly it. Now, we do know that Eddie Hearn and whatever said that, well, you know, now he's made enough money, now it's about concentrating on legacy. So, again, you could probably twist that and say, well, okay, well, I thought it was about legacy, not about money. Well, for those who say that, remember, Deontay Wilder said it's about legacy, not about money, but then demanded 50% of what he's not entitled to. He hasn't earned it. But yeah, he's refusing to budge on that. 6 weeks after, he's still saying 50%, so it's not even a negotiation with it. But anyway, and yes, I know some people say, well, when Eddie Hearn went there and you know, he met with Shelley Finkel and Al Heyman, percentages and money wasn't talked about. Come on, man. Of course it was. Of course it was. Boxing is a business. Let's not say something that we don't already know, right? Boxing is a business. Of course, money was talked about. Why would Eddie Hearn have said repeatedly that Deontay Wilder is saying 50% and he's refusing to move if money wasn't talked about? And if Eddie Hearn was wrong, if he was lying, Deontay Wilder is very, very open on social media. He would have jumped all over that, but he didn't. Why? Because it's true. So, facts are, Deontay Wilder isn't bringing enough revenue. He doesn't have a spreadsheet, as Anthony Joshua would call it, say, listen, you know, this is what we currently earn. If you come over, you will add this little bit more and blah, blah, blah. But it's not. Because you know fine and well that who's going to be funding this entire event? It'll be Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, Anthony Joshua. It won't be Al Heyman. It won't be Deontay Wilder. It's going to be Anthony Joshua. He's going to go to somebody else's backyard and fund the whole damn event. They're the ones that's going to have to be doing all the legwork, securing the venue, getting the sponsors and all this kind of thing, securing the broadcast deals. They're the ones that's going to do that. It won't be Wilder. He's just going to have to train, turn up and get paid and hand his belt over at the end. And that's exactly what he'll do. But yes, he is world champion. World champion does mean he should travel the world and represent the world as the world heavyweight champion. So I fully get that. I do get that. And at some point, I do expect him to go to America. I expect him to go to Nigeria. I expect him to go to Germany. I expect him to go wherever it may be. But right now, while the market's hot here, he's not a worldwide phenomenal yet. He's a UK star, not a world star right now. And after only 20 fights in, it is what it is. But first things first, he's got a massive fight coming up on March 31st in a unification fight against Joseph Parker, where he could add 3 of the main 4 belts. So again, that's another huge slice and another legacy fight for Anthony Joshua, should he win, of course. No guarantees in boxing of anything. But it is what it is. So Deontay Wilder and all these fanboys, you should come to America, blah, blah, blah. Well, Floyd Mayweather never travelled. Andre Ward never travelled. So why suddenly does Anthony Joshua have to travel? Because you want home advantage. Well, if Deontay Wilder can guarantee a certain purse, I'm sure that they'll talk about it, but they can't guarantee anything because unfortunately, and it's the truth, people see the truth as hating nowadays, but it's not. The truth is the truth. Deontay Wilder is not pay-per-view. Deontay Wilder brings nothing to the table. It's all about Anthony Joshua. You put Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, that's not pay-per-view. You put Deontay Wilder against Joseph Parker, that's not pay-per-view. It should be, but it's not, because he doesn't have the following in America like he should have. And that's being truthful. He should have a big following, but he's not promoted right. So people don't buy into it. Yes, there are other sports, you know, hockey, American football, baseball, all these kind of things that obviously it's a huge country, so boxing isn't the most popular sport. But when Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Muhammad Ali, all these kind of guys were fighting, these sports were also there, and these sports were also just as popular as they are now. But yeah, these guys were global superstars. Anyway, that's Anthony Joshua's statement right now. He's saying that while he is willing to go to America if the fight is right and if it would secure his legacy. Now, I don't know, you could argue, I suppose, that it is a legacy-defining fight because it's for undisputed, but unfortunately, the opponent that he's fighting isn't legacy, because what's going to happen is Anthony Joshua's going to beat the hell out of him, knock him out, and then people are going to say, well, Deontay Wilder was a bum. The best that he ever done was beat an old man in Luis Ortiz. That's what people are going to say. Personally, I like that fight. I love Wilder versus Ortiz, but you know, a lot of people who are real Anthony Joshua haters are really going to say, well, Deontay Wilder fought nothing but bums anyway. And you can't argue with it because it's true, but I would disagree with the Luis Ortiz bit. But anyway, drop your thoughts below, click the thumbs up, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video.